So Moshe Zwang, I was very fortunate to be trained by him directly before he disappeared, and that's part of the story I'm going to tell you now. Him and his wife trained me years ago, I think it's almost 15 or maybe more, I don't remember, on that phenomenal technique called palm therapy. I use it combined with an NLP technique and timeline, and that's why I call it now heart-soul therapy. I created that technique to combine different modalities of energy healing and hypnosis. But Moshe's story is really significant, so let me tell you how Moshe discovered palm therapy. As a young man, he was a young boy, I think he was about 12 years old. He was a phenomenal swimmer, a diver. He loved swimming. And he was having fun in the swimming pool, diving for a very long time. And he did a bet with a professional diver, a man who was professional doing that. And he bet that he could do, I don't know how many times, the Olympic pool underwater. He did so well that he drowned. He drowned himself. The gentleman, the diver, went into the water, pulled him out of the water, but he was not breathing. They started doing some reanimation, but while that happened, he had what we call an out-of-body experience. He went out of his body and saw himself above and could hear everything that the people were saying. He heard some woman criticizing him because she was not happy about him, because I think he was interested in her daughter. So she made a negative comment, and he saw all kind of stuff like that. He could hear them. But he was above. Moshe is not believing specifically in God. He's not a religious person. And he told me as a Jew that he didn't even believe in angels. And his parents were not religious at all. So he had no knowledge about what could be an angel. But all of a sudden, he see a big angel. What he understood later on was an angel. Huge, very big. And he was telepathically or verbally, I don't know, he was able to communicate with it. And the angels told him that they would give him information that would be significant to help people to heal. He had no clue what it would be. And he didn't want to go back to his body. He wanted to die. When you're young, you're not afraid of death. He said, I wanted to go. It sounded fun to go with the angels. I wanted to go with him. And the angel told him, no, Moshe, you are going back. We need you. We are going to work with you. So he's going back into his body. And they reanimate him. A doctor came over, I guess. They did CPA, and he survived. From that day, Moshe became fully clairvoyant. He could see spirits around people. He could see aura. And he started communicating with that angel every night and go out of his body and be trained by these angels for years. He shared that story with his parents, who, again, are absolutely not spiritual, don't believe in angels. They thought, oh my God, the drowning did something to our son. His brain is damaged. We're going to send him to see a psychiatrist. They sent him to see that woman, the psychiatrist. She's at her desk. He has his first session, and he noticed a young boy next to her. And he said to the lady, who's the young boy next to you? And he described the child, I guess. She freaked out and say, what is going on here? Oh, how do you know about that? And she's so upset that she told the parents of Moshe that she never wants to see that kid anymore. She doesn't want to treat him. She doesn't want to see him. Moshe understood immediately that he saw a child that was dead. That was her son. She had a son who died, and he was able to see him. He told his parents, And his parents were even more concerned, so he thought, Moshe is extremely intelligent, he thought, I better stop telling people about that story and about anything like that, because they're going to really lock me in a cuckoo land, you know. So he stopped talking about it, put it on the side, and had a normal life. Like I said, Moshe is a brilliant mind. He became a Marine captain in the Israeli army. He was in charge of a ship when one day they were at sea, and the crew find an object in the water, an obus, I don't know how you call that in English, you know, a caisson, something, that they brought on the ship. He was on the deck above and was able to see the whole scene. The guys had a bad idea, taking an instrument, banging on it, open up the obus, the caisson, the thing that the metallic stuff that they got from the ocean, and a gas came out from it, burning the people, hurting them. Then he observed what was happening, and he noticed two different reactions from the people on the deck. One group of people were very emotional and in pain. They were screaming, yelling, not able to do anything rational, and in pain, suffering. The other group were not showing any emotion, were not showing any pain, but they were able to act, to make decisions, or to communicate with him on what to do next. He gave order. He told them to, I don't remember if it was pouring water or, anyway, he told them to do a few things to be safe and to isolate themselves from the gas effect that was burning them. And then from that day, he had a better understanding of the brain, of what kind of people we are. There is two types of people, basically, emotional and cognitive. We are both, of course. We have both sides of our brain, the right and the left brain, exist in everybody. But we have tendency to be more one way or the other. When we are emotional and suffer easily from people's reaction or from anything that happened to us physically, we experience pain in a deeper level. We are more affected from pain. When we are more cognitive, we are not so sensitive. This is why sometimes people make a comment saying, oh, from somebody who is more cognitive, or you don't have a heart, you don't show emotion or whatever. It doesn't mean they don't have the same connection with emotion, they just don't show it the same way, they don't process it the same way. And you can have very kind people, like Moshe is a cognitive person, he's not an emotional person, he's extremely kind. And he was able to dedicate his life to his research and to help people in pain. So he is a very kind person, and he had been able to be effective, do something about it. When sometimes people who are very emotional do not do anything about it. They are only concerned about their own suffering, their own situation. You see what I mean? From that moment, and with his connection with the angels and all that, he developed the technique, part of the technique that I'm using and that I want to teach everybody to replace him since he disappeared, the Palmtherapy technique. Because again, this is the only technique that I know that is capable to really efficiently, fast, and without too much trauma, without creating more trauma than what is already existing, to get rid of deep emotions or limitations from the brain, memories from things that happened to us, etc. Later on, Moshe became a professor at the university. He's a scientist. And then he finally dedicated his life with his wife to teach palm therapy. In another story, I'll tell you what happened, why I believe he disappeared, and what he was doing to help people dealing with guilt and, well, basically, he was trying to help the Palestinian and the Jew to reconciliate. It was not politically something accepted by everybody. He had a lot of, it was very controversial. But he was, in his heart, he believed we are all brothers and sisters, that we should all forgive each other and love each other and find a way to live together. So that was very strong for him, to help the Palestinian and the Jew to be able to have a life of understanding at a higher level of love and respect. He also used to go to Germany to help the children of the Nazi because they have a lot of guilt. And that was another thing that was very criticized, again, because he was a Jew. So a lot of people didn't like him doing that. But he helped thousands of German people who were suffering from that. When I took my classes with Moshe, I had an intuition. I had that intuition that I would be teaching his technique to the world. And I didn't know why, because he was doing it with his wife. But since he disappeared, now I know that that was the intuition. Before he disappeared, he did ask me to translate one of his books in French. So I still have to do it. It's a small one because he wrote a big 700-page manual in regards to the palm therapy. And so that's not the book that I was translating. The one that he asked me to translate is a short version of his life when he was a child and how he got involved with the angel and all that. So I will do that and have it published.